championship-less state. Union Minister of State for Education on two-day visit to Nagaland assures state of Prime Minister's resolve to solve Naga political issue. And Centre announces grant of 1,300 crore rupees for tackling COVID pandemic in northeastern states. A very good evening, viewers. Welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin from the studios of DDK Guwahati. This is Sangeeta Bhattacharjee. Now the stories in detail. In national news first, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today stressed the need for constantly improving techniques to develop the sports culture in the country. Interacting with the Indian para-athlete contingent for Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games through video conferencing, Modi said that along with international sports, traditional Indian sports are also being given a new identity. He said 360 Khelo India centers have opened up in over 250 districts across the nation, and their numbers will be increased to 1,000 in near future. Terming the para-athletes as real champions, he said, the new India does not pressurize its athletes for medals. It only wants them to give their 100% without any mental pressure. He said it is a result of the hard work of para-athletes that today the largest number of Indian athletes are going to Paralympics. Indian para-athletes are a proof of how amazing talent is filled in small villages and far-flung areas.
यही तो सच्ची स्पोर्ट्समैन स्पिरिट है। हर हालत में वो यही हमें सिखाती हैं, यस वी विल डू इट, वी कैन डू इट, और आप अपने सपने करके दिखाया भी है, सबने कर दिखाया है। साथियों, आप इस मुकाम तक पहुंचे हैं क्योंकि आप असली चैंपियन हैं। जिंदगी के खेल में आपने संकटों को
In Afghanistan, military flights evacuating diplomats and civilians resumed from the runway at Kabul airport in wee hours today. United States security forces cleared off unruly crowd for smooth movement of aircraft. A Western security official at the facility told the media that many people who were in airport premises have gone home. However, one could still hear occasional shots coming from the direction of the airport, while streets elsewhere in Kabul appeared calm. Meanwhile, Indian Air Force aircraft C-17 landed at Jamnagar Air Base with all Indian evacuees from Kabul in Afghanistan this afternoon. According to sources, the district collector of Jamnagar along with local leaders reached the Jamnagar Air Base and arranged lunch and other requirements for the evacuees. The Indian Air Force evacuated Indians from the Kabul embassy, including staff, ITBP soldiers and others. Meghalaya government has decided to relax the ongoing curfew in Shillong agglomeration of East Khasi Hills district from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. starting from tomorrow. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma, after chairing a meeting today in Shillong, said the decision was taken as the situation in the capital improved in the last 24 hours. Earlier, Sangma said the temporary CRPF camp from the Maulai area of Shillong will be shifted to a separate and permanent location in keeping with a long-pending demand of the local residents. He told a delegation of 9 headmen and a member of district council from Maulai, Teborlang Patau, who called on him on Monday, that the government has already initiated the process. A center for the youth will be set up once the CRPF vacates the building, which belongs to the Meghalaya Arts and Culture Department. In his tweet, Sangma informed that he and the Deputy Chief Minister urged the delegation to play an active role in restoring peace in Maulai area in particular and capital Shillong in general. Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphu Rio has expressed his happiness over the development in which the Nationalist Democratic Progressive Party, Bharatiya Janata Party, Nagaland and the Naga People's Front have come together for an opposition-less government for achieving the common goal for an early and peaceful solution to the Naga political issue. Earlier on Monday, following the decision of opposition-less government, the NDPP, BJP and NPF, including 2 independent MLAs, signed a 5-point resolution for achieving an inclusive, acceptable and honourable solution. The new nomenclature of government is Nagaland United Government. Still in Nagaland, Chief Minister Neiphu Rio today launched the Nagaland Sustainable Development Goals of Vision 2030 at Capital Convention Centre, Kohima. At the same function, Minister of Planning and Coordination Neba Kronu launched the District SDG Localization and Integration Manual. In his speech, the Chief Minister said the 17 goals and 169 targets documented in the Nagaland SDG Vision 2030 are aligned to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which are a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that everyone enjoys peace and prosperity. In Arunachal Pradesh, Chief Minister Pema Khandu had a meeting today with the All Nishi Students Union in Itanagar. Later in a tweet, Khandu appreciated the student body for extending its support to the government efforts for improving quality education in the state. He advised the student body to regularly monitor the performance of schools in their areas and work in coordination with the local school committees. In another news from Nagaland, Union Minister of State for Education and External Affairs Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh is now on a two-day visit to the state. He was accompanied by Minister for Higher Education and Tribal Affairs and also President BJP Nagaland, Temzen Imna. Addressing the media in Kohima this morning, he said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken a special interest in promoting development and connectivity of the Northeast. The Act East policy will certainly be activated very soon. On Naga political issue, he said the Modi government has initiated efforts to bring an amicable solution of the issue.
Nagaland Pass. In my mind, right from early stage of my studentship, when I studied in Guwahati, I always passed through Nagaland, and Kohima at that time was so climatic.
In Assam, Union Health Minister Mansukh L. Mandavia today announced a grant of 1,300 crore rupees for confronting the COVID pandemic in the northeastern states. Earlier in the day, he reached Guwahati to review the COVID scenario in the region. Later, at a meeting with all the health ministers from the region except from Meghalaya at Administrative Staff College, Guwahati, he reviewed the pandemic scenario. Talking to the media after the meeting, he informed that his ministry has allocated 1,300 crore rupees for tackling the disease.
नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्टेट के सभी सम्माननीय हेल्थ मिनिस्टर के साथ कोविड के विषय को लेके विस्तार से एक मीटिंग हुई है। भारत सरकार की ओर से विस्तृत प्रेजेंटेशन रखा गया। सभी स्टेट की ओर से अपने स्टेट में कोविड क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट के लिए जो कार्यवाही की गई उसके लिए विस्तृत प्रेजेंटेशन रखा गया। अगले दिनों में कोविड मैनेजमेंट के लिए और भविष्य में कोविड का सामना करने के लिए 1,300 करोड़ से अधिक कोविड रिस्पांस पैकेज के तहत नॉर्थ ईस्ट के सभी स्टेट को सहायता दी जाएगी। ये सहायता का उपयोग करके लोकल लेवल पर, डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पर मेडिसिन का प्रोक्योरमेंट हो, बफर स्टॉक हो, ऑक्सीजन का स्टॉक हो, बेड की सुविधा बढ़े, आईसीयू बेड।
In more news from Assam, the state government today issued a revised directive for both rural and urban areas, which will come into force from tomorrow. Addressing the media in Guwahati, Health Minister Keshab Mohanty informed that night curfew time will be from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. across the state. All workplaces, business and commercial establishments will remain open till 6 p.m. He said inter-district movement of private vehicles and movement of people will be allowed except to and from Kamrup Metro District. Inter-district public transport, however, will remain suspended. Meeting and gathering at any open or closed spaces is allowed up to 200% in open spaces and up to 50% of the hall capacity. Religious places are allowed to open with up to 20 fully vaccinated persons per hour for iconic places and 10 persons per hour for other religious places. In a related development, the Assam government today issued a directive which said all incoming passengers who have taken 2 shots of COVID-19 vaccines and possess a certificate will be exempted from mandatory testing on arrival at airports, railway stations and road border points. However, passengers who are symptomatic will have to undergo mandatory RT-PCR tests at their own cost on arrival. India achieved the highest ever vaccination in a single day with more than 88,13,000 vaccine doses administered in last 24 hours. The Union Health Ministry has said 55,47 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. India reported 25,166 new cases in last 24 hours, which is the lowest in 154 days. Active cases constitute 1.15% of total cases, the lowest since March last year. The active caseload is currently at 3,69,846. The national recovery rate is currently at 97.51%, the highest since March last year. Till now, more than 3,14 lakh people have recovered from COVID-19. Over 36,000 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. In the COVID scenario in the northeast, Arunachal Pradesh reported a caseload of 1,836 active cases, followed by 49,425 discharge cases. The dead account for 252. Assam has 7,707 active cases, while the released cases topped at 5,66,101. Tally for the dead is 5,502. Manipur records 6,270 active cases and 1,559 discharge cases. The death toll is 1,716. Saddled with 3,761 active cases, Meghalaya has a caseload of 67,164 cured cases. The dead account for 1,235. In Mizoram, there are 9,510 active cases, even as 39,656 were discharged. The dead tallied at 184. Burdened with 1,153 active cases, Nagaland has 27,437 cured cases, while the dead account for 605. Sikkim has 2,068 active cases, followed by 26,297 released cases. The death toll is 361. Finally, Tripura records 1,497 active cases, 79,164 discharge cases, while the dead numbered at 782. In cricket, the International Cricket Council (ICC) today announced the groups for the Men's T20 World Cup 2021, which will be hosted in Oman and the United Arab Emirates from 17 October to 14 November. Former champions India will open the campaign against Pakistan in Dubai on October 24. India, champions in the inaugural edition, played in South Africa in 2007, and finalists in 2014 will also have Afghanistan, New Zealand and 2 qualifiers from round 1 to contend with Group 2, while Group 1 comprises England, Australia, South Africa, the West Indies and 2 qualifiers from round 1. The final will take place in Dubai on November 14. To end the news, the main points once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with para-athletes, emphasizes need to promote sports culture in country. Meghalaya relaxes curfew hours from tomorrow. Chief Minister Conrad Sangma says CRPF camp from Maulai will be shifted. All political parties join hands to turn Nagaland an opposition-less state. Union Minister of State for Education on 2-day visit to Nagaland assures state of Prime Minister's resolve to solve Naga political issue. And the centre announces grant of 1,300 crore rupees for tackling COVID pandemic in northeastern states. Well, that brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.